Secret Santa is a fun and exciting way for a group of friends to celebrate Christmas. So a few months ago, myself and 17 other creators decided to do a Secret Santa art YouTuber style. 18 names put into an online app and everyone secretly assigned another artist. So I get to make something for another creator and someone has made something for me. So make sure you stick around until the end so you can see who made me something, what they made, and my reaction to opening their gift. I get to make something for the Cassie Projects, and I was very excited to get Cassie as she has a very unique style. And after reading all the answers to the Secret Santa questionnaire, I felt confident I could come up with something epic for her. The problem turned out being I don't have much confidence in my own artistic skills. And I know that might sound silly as I get here on YouTube and I make all sorts of art and craft projects and I share them with thousands of people, but this is different. This is a gift that I'm specially making for someone and they just might hang it on their wall. And so I may have slightly panicked.
We mustn't panic! We mustn't panic!
The thing is, I'm mostly fine making okay art or mediocre art or even bad art. I've accepted that it's a part of my learning journey. And going by your comments, most of you can actually relate. But I still couldn't stop imagining someone opening the present that I had made with my own two hands and spent hours and hours on and just looking at it and being kind of like,
this is the worst!
So I started brainstorming ideas, making mind maps of what Cassie likes and is into, watching her art videos and vlogs on her channel, really trying to get to know her. And I cycled through a few ideas, like a board game that she can play with her family, or a personalised garden gnome so she loves to garden, or a customised set of headphones she can use. All good ideas, but as I sat in my craft room mulling over which idea to actually go for, my eyes travelled over some past creations, and the idea struck me. I could create Cassie. Let's get creating. I already have a blank figurine ready to work with. But unlike my past creations that stand on a base, I want this one to hang on the wall and I need the figurine to have a flat back. So I will have to cast a new one, but only fill the mould just over halfway and lay it down during the curing process. But laying it down will mean liquid will leak out of the hole. My solution is a simple blue tack plug to shove in the hole. Just got to secure the mould with some lacky bands, bust out the instructions from Nerdy's kit, seems it's been a while, then measure, pour and mix. This is where I'll be using some guesswork. The mould isn't see-through, so I can't see how much I'm filling up the mould. So I just go by how much mixture is left in the bowl. Then plug it up, secure it, lay it down, shake out the bubbles and pray it works. While that dries, I'll work on the background. I have a copy of Cassie's logo and I want to use the paint splatter. So I trace over the whole thing in Procreate, print it out and use it as a template. Time for some clay. For this part, I will use air dry clay. And the quickest and easiest way to get the outline transferred to the clay is to dampen the clay surface, then press the image onto the clay and voila, peel away to reveal the magic. Then it's just a matter of cutting around the line, plus repairing a few places where the clay didn't quite reach the edge of the image. Now, I don't want this paint splatter to be just flat. I used clay for this part because I want it to actually look like a 3D paint splatter. So I used chunks of clay to make the ends of the splatter look a bit more blobby. The centre I will keep flat as that is where the figurine will be attached. As I want to take my time to make this look nice, and because I have other things I have to do in between sculpting, I use a damp cloth to drape over the clay to prevent it from drying out before I can finish. While that dries, it's time to see if I got the right amount of permastone mix in the mould. And yes, it worked perfectly. There is quite a divot in the centre, but a quick scrape down of the sides with a craft knife makes it an easy and oddly satisfying fix. Once it's been carefully removed without ripping off the arm, it just needs a bit of tidying up here and there. Once it's looking all pretty, we are finally ready to Cassify this thing. So let's talk about Cassie. She lives in England. England, unlike my neck of the woods in Australia, is rather cold for a good portion of the year, so I'm going to sculpt her some nice warm clothes. Simple pants with a little texture and a few stitches along the hem will be fine. For the jumper, I think I want a nice thick looking knit jumper. So I roll the clay onto some textured fabric. It's just my dirty old paint cloth, and then wrap it around. While I am sculpting this thing, I'm looking for references and watching Cassie's videos, and I actually notice she seems to like wearing hoodies. So when I nearly have the jumper finished, I rip it all off and start again. I'm not really sure I needed to remove the whole thing, but I just wasn't happy with it anyway. Once I am happy with it, I add in a little zipper and shape out a hoodie. Now, Cassie often wears a beanie. Hey, if I lived in England, I think I would wear a beanie too, and probably a scarf, and mittens, and like 10 jumpers. Anyway, the beanie. Sculpting a beanie will actually save me a lot of time as I will have far less hair that has to be textured. Before I work on the head though, I do a bake and save, so I don't mess up the clothing. Then I do a quick mapping out of the face so I know where exactly to place the hair. As I was saying, not much hair will be visible, but Cassie does have a fringe. So once I have a clay base over the scalp area, I attach teeny tiny little sausages. Then using a thin pointy tool, I add in all the texture. When that's all complete, I can work on the beanie. Another thing I've noticed that Cassie wears a lot is her headphones, so I definitely have to sculpt those. I use some circle cutters to create the earpieces, but for the band over the head, I switch out the Sculpey for my little bit of cosclay, as it will be flexible once baked, so hopefully it won't break. I use the container from my circle cutters to shape the band around and bake the whole thing. Then I can carefully remove it and attach it to the figurine. Once that's attached, it's time to put Cassie into the oven for one final baking. While Cassie gets baked and cooled off, I will work on the background some more. As you can see, I did have to do a little repair where it broke. And once I had given it a quick coat of gesso, I decided to move it for some reason, and then I break another piece. A little super glue fixes it without too much drama. And I'm not worried about it breaking further once it's finished, because this will all be attached securely to another piece which will keep it strong. You'll see. So, the colour palette. I'm letting colours Cassie likes and colours from her logo dictate what I will paint this sculpture. These are not normally colours I gravitate towards myself or really work with, so I have to make a lot of adjustments and repaint certain parts. And even then, I'm not quite sure I got the colours right. As I was saying before, I'm going to attach this paint splatter to a more secure surface, being this circle wood panel. It will provide stability for the whole thing, and I painted a muted green, which, like the purple, is from Cassie's logo. When I get to painting the figurine, I switch to my Golden Flow acrylics. In the past for painting sculptures, I've mainly used cheaper and thicker paints. For some reason, in my head, I just presumed a very runny paint would not be very opaque. I'm not sure why I thought that. Maybe because in the past I've had thinner, cheaper paints that have been just terrible. But these Golden Flow acrylics are the most opaque paints I have ever used, and they are also the runniest. The thin consistency makes them excellent to work with for sculptures. It's easy to get a nice smooth line, gets into crevices with ease, and you get a nice smooth finish. They really are worth the investment if, like me, you hate doing lots of coats. For the colours of Cassie's clothes, I've used her videos as a reference again, but that green of the jumper, just didn't turn out right. And now it's time for my nemesis, the face. I've drawn up the face on my iPad first, and I used a lot of references and heaps of cartoon eye tutorials to get to this point. I printed out 3 different sizes and I test them out to see which will fit best. I colour the back of the picture, tape it in place the best I can, then trace it onto the surface. It was a pain in the butt, but I'm just trying so hard to make this look good and not ruin the whole project at the very last hurdle. I very carefully paint in the details, which is actually really hard to do on camera as I want to get my face really close to what I'm doing. So I finished the rest off camera. And I think I did an okay job painting it on, but something is really off. I think it's the placement, or the hair didn't come down far enough from under the beanie. I don't know, it just doesn't look right. And while I would love to go back in and fix it somehow, I have to get this thing finished and in the post the next morning. So I try to get over it and just start putting it all together. First varnishing everything, then attaching all the pieces together. The last few items to add on are a paintbrush for Cassie to hold in one hand, a garden trowel in the other, and one of her little frogs from her video sitting on her shoulder. And that is a completed project. All that's left for me to do is package it up as securely as possible with lots of bubble wrap to hopefully keep it safe for its long journey from Australia to England. I also add a little note written on one of my mushroom paintings. It's time to open my gift, and I'm very excited because I got Anchored Art Design. She's super creative. I've been watching her for years, so I'm really excited to see what she's created for me. And as I did say earlier in this video, we all answered questions to a questionnaire just to help if people were a little bit stuck on what to make for the other person. Oh my goodness, okay. She definitely read my questionnaire. It's a wooden book and she's got seashells on it. Now, one of the questions that was in there revealed that I love the beach, I love the ocean, and so she's really listened to that and she's given this a really ocean beachy theme, which I love. And I love the idea that there's sand on there, and maybe that's sand from her own hometown. So I have some US soil on my piece, and I love that. Di, I was so glad to find out I got you for Secret Santa. You organised this collab and the Create This Book collab that brought us all together. You have gifted us so much, so it was fun to give a gift back to you. I hope you love it and have a Merry Christmas. Love from Cara. Oh my goodness, why am I getting teary over that? Oh, thank you, Cara. That's such a nice note. We've got some snacks. She has sent me some stickers, and I have been wanting stickers from Cara for ages because I love her designs. They're just beautiful colours and they're all sparkly and happy, and I love the turtles and the jellyfish. They're so cool. And the seashells. I love them all. Let's look at this artwork. It's so beautiful. She's really personalised it to me. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being so silly about this. It's just so special to have someone make something for you. Oh, And she's really obviously put a lot of thought and effort into it because the colours are right up my alley. I love them. I love to read, and so she's got all the books and a lovely little sitting area there, and it's under the ocean, and oh my God, sorry, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, stop it, woman, stop it. Thank you so much, Cara, for your gift. I am so thankful and so moved and so touched for what you have created for me. I really appreciate it deeply. So now you've got a sneak peek at what Cara has made. Please, please, please head over to her channel so you can see her create this. Then once you've been to Anchored Art Design's channel, head over to Cassie's channel so you can see her reaction to opening what I made for her. All 18 artists will be uploading their videos over the course of this weekend. I'm going to create a playlist on my channel, and as each artist uploads their video, I'm going to update my playlist. 18 videos for you guys to watch. You're going to be very busy this weekend, aren't you? So am I. I'm going to be busy this weekend watching them all, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see Cassie open hers. I'm really nervous. So nervous, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I made her a second gift. Just because I was so stressed about what I made her, I got in my head that it wasn't good enough, it was going to be awful. So I've been creating merchandise. By the way, my merch shop is now live, but I sent her one of my hoodies from my merch shop. You guys can go and check out the shop yourself. I strongly suggest clicking on the link under my store. Otherwise, in the description box, I'll have it there. Go to the actual website and have a look, because under my YouTube store tab, it doesn't have everything there. It just has the clothing, but there's so much more. There's more than clothing. I've got mugs, I've got stickers, I've got an apron, I've got a tumbler, a notebook. Actually, would you like to see a couple of things from my shop? Let me show you. This is a notebook with my artsy tool design on it. You might recognize some of these art tools from the Create This Book 3 collab. They are the same art tools that are on that Create This book, but I've just created it into a nice simplified black and white design that if you want to add some color to it, you can actually color this in yourself if you really wanted to. And it's quite a thick book, so I've got that in the shop. I've also got this shirt in there. And as I said before, lots of t-shirts and hoodies, etc. We have the new design of Bonnie the Bee. As you can see, Bonnie the Bee has changed. I have improved her. She looks beautiful. The mug has Bonnie the Bee on the front and the back, and you have a coloured handle and inside. There's other mug designs in the shop as well. And I also have stickers. I've got individual stickers. There's Lil and Bonnie, and Lil on her own, and Bonnie on her own. Otherwise, I've got them as a whole sheet, and that's got all my current mushy characters that I've digitized. As time goes on, I will add more mushy characters to the designs available. I've also got some artsy tools. This actually came from the cover of my sketchbook that I created from a video. And then I've got some holographic artsy floral type pencil designs. They're pretty cool, but there's lots more there. So please go check it out. You might just find something you like. Now, please be aware that this is through a third-party company. It's through someone called Fourth Wall. I'm not creating this stuff myself. There's no way I have the time to do this. So I've just designed the stuff, Fourth Wall, sell it, make it, do it, ship it. I'm just the designer. Anyway, that's all I've got time for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I really hope you go and check out the 17 other creators and their videos, and I hope to see you next time.